Hello. In this video we're going to be talking about how to create social circles and maintain friendships. Now at this current moment in time with the global pandemic, with social isolation, social distancing, it's made everything so much worse, especially if you're living on your own. People haven't been able to go out to work where they meet colleagues, they haven't been able to meet up with friends or even family members, or even be in support groups or go along to social activities in groups. It's all been stopped. Now if you live on your own, this can make our current moment in time incredibly difficult. It's worth remembering there is a big difference between being on your own and being lonely. People can be in a huge group of people and yet still feel lonely. Loneliness is a state of being that comes from inside you. So if you are feeling lonely, that really requires a bit of going down deep, finding the things that you enjoy doing and starting to do them, going on a bit of exploration with yourself to find out what makes you feel happy and what makes you feel content. If you are feeling lonely or socially isolated, then you can reach out to other people. There's some certain things that we can do even with this moment in time which will help us in the now to actually start to create social circles and not feel so lonely. You can explore how you can spend time with some friends and even with some family members. You can even make a telephone call and have a daily chat with people. If you're a little bit more technologically advanced, then you can do a WhatsApp video chat with people. You can take part in some of the wonderful groups that are around, which are doing fantastic things online with the online communities. You can play games like Scrabble or have quizzes with each other. There is a lot of things out there that can help you, even in these really difficult times, begin to make friends with each other. Some of the things that I've heard with other people doing is you can do a socially distanced meal where you can arrange at a certain time to have a meal with somebody. Them in their home, you're in your home. But you just set your little gadgets up, albeit a mobile phone nowadays, got huge technology, and you can just chat as you're eating. So almost like have coffee days and coffee evenings. People are doing all of these things online, even having Netflix parties where you watch a film at the same time somebody else watches a film, but there's an app where you can watch Netflix parties where you can chat to each other like it was if you're sitting next to each other. All of these things are possible and all of these things can be done. If you're thinking, well, I've got nobody to chat to, how do I find these things? There are some wonderful social meeting groups that are actually out there. One of them is called Meetup. It's a social meeting group. It is totally free. Just go on to Google or whatever provider you are using, write the word Meetup into the search bar, and it will bring you up with a wonderful social meeting group where you can meet people from all around the world. And with COVID with us now, lots of things are happening where you can literally chat to people in America or chat with people in China or chat with people that live next door. There are lots and lots of social meeting groups that are taking place on Meetup that are free and only need you to have the most basic of technical skills. And so it is well worth exploring and looking into them. There are even mechanisms nowadays where you can make friends through apps. There are lots of people in a similar situation to you that have suddenly looked around their life and they realised their friends, maybe they've all got married and moved away. Maybe you've moved to a new area and you don't know anybody. Or maybe life's just happened and all of a sudden you've realised you're on your own. If you want to make friendships, there are friendships apps out there. They're rather like dating apps, where what you do is you just put your interest in them and you look for people that live local that have got similar interests. Now, I know at this moment in time you wouldn't be able to meet them, but you could still get to know them and then arrange to meet when the restrictions have lifted. When it comes to making friends, one of the things you can do is look back at all of your past acquaintances, all of the people that used to be in your life, people that you used to have a friendship with. Maybe go through your phone numbers on your mobile phone and actually drop these people a message and just say, hi, how are you? How's life treating you? It'd be great to catch up sometime. Be the first person to actually reach out and re-establish connections with these people. Maybe there used to be people you got on quite well with at work that you've almost forgotten about as well. Reach out to them in whatever means you can, or even family members. Maybe you used to be really close to one of your cousins or aunts and uncles. Again, this is a great time to send them a message to re-establish contact with. Lots of people are doing it at the moment. In fact, in some ways, during the pandemic, I have had more people speak or reach out to me than I'd even remembered people I had in my life. And people are feeling free and to be able to reach out and say, how are things with you? And once that connection has been made, you can start a communication going. And then when things begin to lift, you could even say, do you fancy meeting up and going for a walk in the park? When it comes to actually making friendships and social circles, I know quite a few people that have lots and lots of acquaintances in their life, but not many friendships. An acquaintance is somebody that you might just say hi to occasionally, or somebody that you might just know or know the name of. To make them become friendships, then you need to actually allow yourself to become a little bit more vulnerable, to let them into your life. So to go from an acquaintance to a friendship requires a little bit of letting them in and you being let into their life. After you've established that connection with them again, so say there was a colleague you used to get on with quite well and you've dropped them a little message, how are things with you? And they've replied back, I'm great, how are things with you? Once you've actually started to build up that connection, and let's pretend for the sake of this that lockdowns are not happening anymore, and you've met up with them for a socially distanced walk in the park and restrictions are lifting even more, that's when you then say to them something like, do you fancy coming back and I'll cook for you one day or something, or we can go to the cinema? And so you begin to branch out into the realms of friendship, and then you can begin to tell them a little bit more about your life. Not oversharing, but allowing yourself to give a little bit of your life to them. Maybe you want to tell them that you were once married and you're now on your own. And they can share, yes, I was once married too. It's about going slightly deeper in terms of conversational matters. For some people that can be quite scary, but you need to actually have that bigger depth of connection to form a friendship. Otherwise, you could spend your whole life with just lots and lots of people that you know, but not friendships, just acquaintances. Each year at around Christmas time, the government do a little census to find people that are lonely and people that aren't. And they find you need to have 4 friends in your life to actually alleviate the feelings of loneliness. That's 4 people that you speak to on a regular basis. Maybe meet up for coffees, go for walks with, or just exchange telephone conversations. And so look at the people in your life and actually become almost like control of your own life. You can't stop what's happened to you, but you have got total control with what you do now and what you do going forward into the future. So look for ways that you can develop 4 friendships, for people to be in your life, for you, for them, and them for you, for now and going forward. Maybe you've looked at all the past friendships and relatives and colleagues and there's nobody there. Then you can do things like joining meetups or joining a club or a group with an interest that you enjoy doing. Like maybe you've always enjoyed knitting or sewing. There's lots of crafty groups out there. At the moment, some of them are done online, but when this lockdown lifts, you can actually go to venues and start sharing your skills with people or learning a new skill. There's lots and lots of things that are out there. Or even start volunteering. Volunteering is a great way to meet like-minded people. But remember, as soon as you've got talking to them, established conversations, you need to actually go the next step. And you also need to maintain that friendship. So once you've had one lovely afternoon with them, maybe you've invited them around for dinner, you'll then say, you know, should we go around to yours next month and maybe do this on a monthly thing? So become a little bit brave and actually take charge of your own life to develop your own social circle and friendship network.